I was a boy, everybody knew what a downwinder was. We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch out by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist, and it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen. It will never happen. We cannot have a meltdown.
Hey, sorry about that. Technical difficulties again. It's amazing what we're up against, isn't it? I mean, my God, the nuclear industry, the usury, the globalists, they don't have to, they honestly don't have to go at us. They got rats and trolls and mentally ill wackos and freaking every kind of, they've got the whole field. They got machine guns. They got drones with Hellfire missiles on them. We got a pea shooter called YouTube we're trying to fire away, yet our own people go at us. I'm going to talk about the softball activists. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. As you know, I'm protesting here at the University of Utah today as Jim Harbaugh and Michigan are rolling into town. And it's a pure slave league. It's one of the biggest shakedowns in American history, and people don't even realize it. $9 billion is being extracted by you, the taxpayer. And you don't even get it. I try to explain this to people, and they just look at you with drool coming out of their mouths. Get your Bangladesh gear. Why do you think college athletics switch their helmets, their uniforms every week? Colors, different, dynamics. So sports merchandise is one major mega industry. It's okay, and it's the universities, right? Wrong. It's the NCAA, which is a small cabal group. It's one of the biggest, most illegal scams in American history. How do they pull it off? This is how it works. Johnny, you're going to play in the NFL. Take the impoverished, and for the most part, and this, they do it too. The Samoans in, here at the University of Utah, there's a huge amount of islanders that they recruit because, the Mormon Church has a apparatus through there, and do not kid yourself. You don't think that University of Utah exploits that? Kyle Winningham, he's a high-ranking Mormon, okay? Because they're all high. That's how it's based here. It's based on money. And so how does the shakedown work? Jim Harbaugh is a Michigan State employee. He works for the state of Michigan. So does Kyle Winningham for the state of Utah. Now think about this. These are the highest-paid state employees in human history. They're paid by the taxpayer. You don't believe it? Look it up. So they get paid by the taxpayer. So the NCAA doesn't even have to pay the coaches. The NCAA doesn't have to pay any player. So you're a player? So the player, Johnny, you're going to play in the NFL. They're one-year contracts they sign on scholarships. That's it, scholarship. If one of them gets hurt, your scholarship's gone. They don't give them anything. They don't even have time to study. These kids are freaking practicing. It's all in. This is a major corporation. How can they ever have time? They're going to bed hungry, actually. Here's a food card from the student union. You ever ate in the student union? I ate in the student union of University of Utah a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, for a lot of years when I was going to school there. And at Weber, when I went to school there, and taught at Weber. And let me tell you something, eat that food every day, it will kill you. That's not food. It's, what is this? The same food goes into every one of these unions. And what are these unions, and these kids are eating on, what is it, what's the name of the freaking food doctor shop eating freaking catastrophe? It's not even food. Cisco? I mean, eat that every day. And then try to be a big time college athlete so you can be one of the less than 2% that go to the NFL or go to the NBA. You're going to be like King James. King James never played college. Now they've even changed the rules. They make you go to college. You can't even do what King James did. Says, fuck, I'm not going to get them exploited like this. I'm going straight to the NBA. Now these freaking rats, the NCAA, $9 billion. Now, totally funded by the taxpayer. And you're like, what are you talking about? University of Utah is a state college. Michigan is a state college, funded by the state. Federal tax, and let's say all the student body. Well, a big piece of the student body is going on federal grants and student loans, and so that's who's funding these guys. These athletes are slaves, full blown out, 100%. Oh, they get a free education. Yeah, I get a free education in this day. What you going to do with that piece of paper? Go to China. As China's now is parading their military hardware, by the way. You seen this? They're getting all their... And I love it how the Wall Street Journal's reporting this. Oh, God, China's getting aggressive military. This is horrible. When isn't that what the Wall Street Journal wanted? Aren't they the mouthpiece for the globalist? What, the tariff? It's as plain as the sun coming up in the east. What comes with economic power? Historically, always 100%, lock, stock, barrel. Every time it's just the way it is. Military might. You don't think there's going to be a showdown at some point? Because the United States is going broke and China's laughing their balls off. And these fucking oligarchs that are breaking this fucking country. We're a third world country. China knows that. They know, yeah, they got this big stupid fucking military. Whoopie fucking do when it all starts to fraction, because they ain't got no fucking money to fund the fucking military. They're doing it fucking with smoke and mirrors. It's like the stock market. Yeah, the stock market's real indicative of the United States economy. Let's see, Apple, Caterpillar, as America goes, GM goes. They don't play anybody here. They don't pay any fucking taxes here. What's American about them? No, they're Chinese. Well, they're not even Chinese. They're royal oligarchy. Tim Cook, that fucking sickening, disgusting fucking rat, exploiting fucking slave over there. Think about it. Tim Cook's gay. You know what they do if you're gay in China. Oh, it's not against the law. Oh, really? They execute you. That's right. These are your trade partners. These are the people, and let's go to Bangladesh and get your gear. Get your University of Utah gear. Get your Michigan Wolverine. Yeah, I'm going to dress up like a cartoon character and sit in that stadium. We're going to have a black out, and then next week we'll have a red out. Then next week we'll have a green out. And run down to fans and buy your new stuff from Bangladesh-made slaves that you can run a hot light over it the second you buy it. It's full of blood. I mean, it's amazing. But America's fucking gone. I was thinking about this last night. I was down there yesterday getting ready for this, whatever. This country is this is the first society in human history that is totally lock, stock, barrel based on no logic whatsoever. Zero logic. You got exploiters and thieves and cheaters and rats that are working for the government, making all kinds of money. For instance, Mike Lee. House in foreclosure, never made a payment while this is a guy running in his hairspray on fiscal responsibility. You welfare victims need to pull up your bootstraps. It's a slave league, 100% pure slavery. Isn't that what this system's evolved into in America? It's a fairy tale. It's a pipe dream. Everybody's dreaming they're going to be on the winning team. Everybody's dreaming they're going to be rich. Sound familiar? These are the same thing the neo-feudalists pulled off in Europe for 1,000 years, 2,000 years. Hey, Cinderella, you're going to marry a prince. Pay the dragons. This is the same. When they I love it how they co-opt it in the New World Order. Those guys were all paid to do that. You know, Fox News, that all those guys that go all the way back were paid to call it New World Order. It's called Rover. Here, go fetch the stick. Rover, go get it. Here, it's shiny ball shit. I mean, it's new. You know, I'll quote Edward Abbey again. Old as Babylon is evil as hell. I mean, it's amazing. New? It's neo-feudalism. It's gone on forever and ever and ever. It's royals. You know, based on bloodlines? Oh, absolutely. I'm going to talk about this. This is something that I cannot believe. Again, more shiny ball shit. Oh, Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States. Barack Obama's a socialist. When Barack Obama's the greatest neo-feudalist ever. Barack Obama's black. You know, Fox News knows exactly. They're working in symphony with this guy. Here, divide and conquer. You know, guns, gays, the whole freaking thing. Oh, you're going to take our guns. They're laughing all the way to the looting you out of your job, out of your health, out of everything you fucking ever had. And the very people that are looting, they're fucking doing. Let's talk about this. Barack Obama's mother. Let's talk. I'm going to break into Barack Obama's grandfather. Barack's grandma and grandpa raised him. You do know that. And this whole shit, he wasn't most likely born a wife. You know, I don't know. Probably was. Let's see, the mom and dad are from Kansas. Okay? They're living in Kansas. The father had a really horrible childhood. He had walked in on his mother and committed suicide. This is Barack Obama's grandpa. Okay? So Barack Obama's grandpa, he's obviously an emotional, destroyed. This guy's a fucking mess. They moved to Hawaii in 1959 when it becomes a state, they say, economic opportunity, but it was her. The fucking wife did all the work. The wife was the worker. She rose up through the bank, became a bank examiner. It was the wife. So they have one child. One child. Now, I want you to really think about this. One child. His name's Stanley. It's a girl. Well, God, I wanted to freaking carry on my namesake, whatever. A boy named Sue. So this arrogant motherfucker names that girl Stanley. Now, you think about that. I want you to really think about this. So this girl in Kansas is going to school. He required her, and teachers, many teachers went to her and to the family. Says, hey, we don't think that she should be going by a name by Stanley. She's, you know, this is a lot of ridicule, a lot of, you know, whatever. You know, her middle name's Ann. Let's call her Ann. He demanded. This fucker demanded she be fucking called Stanley. Demanded. I mean, he ruled with an iron fist over her that she be called Stanley. She was called Stanley all through school till they're 19. She moves with them at 19 years old to Hawaii. You think she had rebellion issues? You do know the reason that Barack Obama came back from Indonesia, why she was still there, because of the parents. I mean, she had a major fight going with that fucking, her mom and dad. Well, who wouldn't? Let's see. So she ends up hooking up with a polygamist. Barack Obama's father, a polygamist, which polygamy is still legal in that tribe in Africa. His other wife knew. She gave him full consent to have a child with another woman. Do you think Barack Obama's mom knew that? Fuck no, she didn't know it. This fucking rat weasel fucking scumbag, Barack Obama's father, who was a true, real weasel piece of shit. He tricked that girl. He took advantage of that girl. You know, impregnated her, treated her like shit, was married, didn't bother telling her. You think that poor girl? She was a genius, by the way, with all kinds of issues. And then she meets this fucking other Indonesian piece of shit who, you know, isn't that the cycle? Abusive father, abusive husbands. This fucking girl was a genius. This girl was a hard worker. She was an amazing woman. By the way, she dies of cancer at 52 years old. You know, downwinder in Kansas, which we know. And Barack Obama, this is how sick. So you wonder where this guy gets his arrogance from. This is the person who raised Barack Obama. Barack Obama was raised, now, as a little boy, he was raised by his grandparents. His grandfather, you know, the parents demanded, you know, that he come back. The parents took this kid away from her because of the abusive Indonesian father. His own book talks about it. This Barack Obama was a fucking mess. I wonder why. You know, psychological fucking mess. By the way, his father ended up at Harvard. Skull fucking bones, the first black skull and condom bones. But, and I love it how the African American community has jumped all over Barack Obama as their guy. The African American plight, which is very real and very disgusting. I want to, before I forget, to that great activist in Baltimore. That kid's the shit, man. I don't know if you've seen him, but he got arrested yesterday, you know, at the trial there. What a great young activist that young man is turned out to be. How articulate, how brilliant, how beautiful can he speak. Wow. So, now you think about this. I want you to really think about it. In all of your fucking life, we all grew up in this era. All of your life, have you ever heard of such a fucking insanity? Now you think about it. We all grew up in that era. A girl whose father names her Stanley, and it happens, but she's surely not going to go by that name. I mean, it happens out there. I know people that it's happened to. They don't use that. They go by their middle name or change their name, even as kids, because my God, can you imagine? This tyrant demanded she use that name, made her use that name. Wasn't until she got away from him that she started using Ann Dunham. His real name is Barry Dunham. So, I mean, you think about it. So, we know this, all of us. We all have these fucking assholes right here in the United States. One of our daughters, one of our cousins, one of our sisters that just impregnate and forget and refuse to. They're called deadbeat dads. Barack Obama's father was a fucking ultimate deadbeat. Fucking deadbeat piece of fucking rat shit. Piece of shit. Issues. So she's married to the Indonesian guy. Fuck, do you know what fucking goes on in Indonesia? Do you have any clue to this day? Number one, slavery is legal. TPP. It's legal for children to smoke cigarettes. I wonder where he learned that. It's legal to beat the fuck out of your kids, which they do regular. That's the culture. That's where he grew up. Why do you think the parents took him away? You know, and that poor woman, you know, can you imagine her, that fucking abusive fucking piece of shit father of hers? Then she gets this fucking deadbeat who fucking was married, lied his fucking ass off to her. She says in her own words that they were both abusive as fuck to her. She ends up a PhD. I mean, got an IQ off the map, genius. Amazing, accomplished woman. Then the poor girl at 52 gets cancer. My God. I mean, it's a tragic fucking story. Barack Obama doesn't give a fuck about her. I can prove he doesn't give a fuck. He works for the nuclear industry. Who do you think gave her cancer? We know Kansas, Oklahoma, where she grew up. The open-air test in Nevada that was going on from 1951 into the 60s, especially in the 50s when she was a young girl, just annihilating her, hammer, drink up some milk. Kansas got just as every bit as much as we did in Utah. Just hammered. We know this. Richard Miller under the cloud. She gets cancer. These fuckers killed her. The very people Barack Obama works for. Barack Obama is a puppet that works. Not my words, Hillary's words. You think about, talk about the pot calling the kettle, huh? Huh? Wow. Hillary Westinghouse Clinton ran ads in the swing states against Barack Obama, saying he's 100% propped up by the nuclear industry. Axelrod, right? Exelon, all of them. He 100% is their puppet. The very people that murdered his own mother. So you wonder where this guy's arrogance comes from. Grandpa. He's just like Grandpa. Fucking that arrogant fucker. You go back to Johnny Cash's beautiful song. I want to find that son of a bitch that named me Sue. You know? Boy, you don't think that girl had beautiful, dynamic, intelligent, brilliant fucking woman like there. Isn't that what men do in America? I mean, they have for years. Take advantage of, I have really beautiful daughters. A bunch of them. Oh, I fucking guard them like wolves, and everybody knows I guard them. Because these slick, weasel little fuckers, isn't that what they do? You know, these beautiful, incredible females, they fucking weasel their fucking way in and fucking just take advantage of them. Fuck that. Fuck that, these fuckers. So, What president, now you think about this, McKinley, this is an assassinated. You know, isn't it funny how we get taught when we're kids? The only two, you know, we get taught about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Okay, but we don't, you know, we get taught about the assassination of John Kennedy. But they sure don't talk about McKinley, do they? Or Garfield, for that matter. Why? Why? Well, because we know who fucking did it. It's well documented. Queen Victoria fucking paid fucking so-called anarchist. He was no anarchist. He was a royal rat that worked for them. That fight never ended. The fucking Hamilton, the fucking Revolutionary War, the British are coming, the British are coming. One by fucking sea, two by jet stream, I say. Yeah, it's amazing. The fight never ended. They won. They got it all back. Now the United States is nothing but their military. How did we break their back in the inception? How did we win that fucking war? Oh, Hamilton, the Coast Guard, first day employee, tariffs. For I am the great tariff president. I'm standing on a tariff platform. Famous last words? Oh, yeah. President McKinley, one of the highest IQ, most brilliant, fucking best president. He used to quote Abraham Lincoln over and over and over. He used to quote Hamilton over and over. And he'd say, I am in the great tariff spirit of Alexander Hamilton, in the legacy of the great tariff leader of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln used to read Hamilton over and over and over. You know, so did John Kennedy. So did Franklin Roosevelt. So did Teddy. Teddy changed the world. Remember, they were Republicans, weren't they? Well, the Republicans were the so-called Democrats and Democrats. Teddy changed the whole world. So Teddy, he gets killed. Teddy's VP through the Masonics. Teddy Roosevelt, like I said, I always quote Morgan. We bought the son of a bitch and he wouldn't say bought. Teddy Roosevelt never answered to fucking nobody. You know, he's like, crazy fucker, oh fuck yeah. He didn't take what's an antitrust law? So he went after these fuckers like wolves. He called it the square deal. So, and it was all, the square deal was invented by McKinley. McKinley was the anti-royal, one of the great, great anti-royal presidents in the history of this country. You could put those five in your hand, the great, great anti-royal hand. You know, of course, George Washington, the greatest president this country ever had, the anti-royal president. Thomas Jefferson, oh, hell yeah, anti-royal president. Everybody says, oh, he wasn't about protectionism. The fuck he wasn't. He was all for the fucking Tariff Act, the fucking 1791. He's the guy that orchestrated him and Hamilton together. They loved each other, to the point that Hamilton took a bullet for him. Burr, that globalist, let's remember, Burr is the direct bloodlines to Al Gore. That's right. That's right. So, Hamilton was going to be the second president. It was, fuck, no doubt, he was the most famous person in the colonies by a million times. They knew he was the guy that kicked the English's ass. He's the guy that came up with the fucking whole fucking deal. They know it was him. Oh, Jefferson, everybody says, oh, them two fought at it. Fuck, in a very pragmatic, beautiful way. Hated each other, they fucking loved each other. So, talk about respect for each other. So, the political operatives, you don't think political operatives were despicable then? He's living, you know, by the way, Alexander Hamilton was the first Secretary of Treasury. Could have paid himself anything he wanted. Paulson robbed it for $400 billion. You know how much Hamilton paid himself? Nothing. 0 point. Was he a wealthy guy? Hell no. Orphan freaking child by Scottish bastard royal who, you know, pulled the same shit as Barack Obama's dad did, that Scottish royal, on his mama. He knew. Doing the slave trade books, he was a buccaneer. He was a genius. Why do you think the Masons let him in? It was a Masonic war. George Washington Masons. George Washington called him his son. He was going to be the second president, no doubt. So he's living away from his elitist wife that some commoner never married an elitist wife in those days. How did he get her hand? Her own father said, no way is some commoner going to marry my daughter. Until I listened to him speak for 1 hour sitting on my couch. I knew right then he was the most brilliant man I'd ever heard. He says, yeah, you can marry her. So He's away from home, doing his political theater as Jefferson talked him into moving the White House and the capital was going to be New York City, which New York City was called Hamiltonville. Everybody called it Hamiltonville. That's how loved this guy was at the freaking Tariff House in the Port of New York. So, he's away. The political operatives, this girl's married even. Think about this. You don't think sex works again. He was saying his partner, she would come in the middle of the night and knock on his door. Claimed she was Scottish. Claimed she was a peasant immigrant that had been just like his, knew his story. Says, hey, my husband was Scottish royalty, and he had just brought me here to this thing, and then he just wanted to use me for sex and left me. And I was told about you. Can you help me? Can you help me? This went on. He's a human being. Said she was one of the most beautiful females ever. Everybody said it. So second, he starts eventually having sex with her. He says, so he's not like the rest of them. So as soon as he's been having sex with her for a while, her husband, who's a political operative working for Burr, frontline, boom, all over. So he doesn't deny it. Hamilton comes right out. He was a man of honesty and integrity. Yeah, I did it. I thought she loved me. I'm a human being. I fucked up. But I thought she loved me. He went home, told his wife the whole story, told his father-in-law the whole story. She stayed with him. His political career is over. They're scrambling. What the fuck? So the other side of the party, who's going to be? Who's going to be? The aristocrat? Or is it going to be the fucking common man's fucking fighter who was an aristocrat? His father was a billionaire, by the way. He fucking went through fucking billions of fucking dollars, drank 2 gallons of wine a day, Jefferson. But he was pragmatic as fuck. One of the most pragmatic men in human history. I mean, think about him securing the money from the fucking French Marie Antoinette. This guy was a ladies' man. This guy was smooth as silk. Are you kidding? You know how many fucking women that dude probably had sex with in his life? How many children he fathered on multiple continents by multiple races? In fact, Jesse Helms, think about that fucking racist. Jesse Helms traces to him. Did you know that? To a black slave. Fama K. Brody right here. Fama K. Brody. That's who my lays on. That's the man who married me. You know, I talk about Stegner, I talk about Adam, but really, I mean, I wasn't that intimate with fucking close to Stegner. I knew Stegner through Richard Scowcroft and Fama K. Brody. People don't even know who Richard Scowcroft is. They're right here, grew up with me. My grandparents, and they were very close friends. The guy that ran the Laureate that doesn't get any of the credit, yeah, those guys. Ogden's, right here, grew up with me and my family. So, she wrote that biography, Fama K. It's a brilliant piece. She's the one that exposed all this long ago. She's a genius. Greatest historian ever, her and, of course, Bernard DeVoto, right here. I mean, we're talking the greatest. Yeah, Ogden, right here, right in my community. And, of course, I didn't know Bernard DeVoto. He was dead long ago, but neither did Stegner know DeVoto. Stegner did not know DeVoto. You know, I can really die in that. He didn't. You know, they both went to the University of Utah. But he sure wrote a lot of great books about fucking DeVoto, didn't he? Brilliant. He wrote a whole fucking thing about fucking DeVoto long after DeVoto was dead. Someday maybe somebody will understand how literature works. Understand that a YouTube video is literature. Understand that click is literature. Understand that what I am is literature. I'm a new art form. Am I a new art form? Oh boy, am I a new art form. Kind of like Pollock? No, a lot different than Pollock. Pollock wasn't a new art form. Orozco taught him how to grip on 8th Avenue. Who taught Orozco? Max Ernst taught him. Max Ernst, you take a can, pull a hole in it. Oh, the Peggy Guggenheim exiled to Utah? I invented post-ignorance. This whole genre of my art form on those videos, it's brand new. It's never been done before. Ever. It is the genre of the time. And it's got performance art, of course. It's got fucking improv, of course. It's got visual, literature. So, it's a tie. 12-12. There's 24 votes. Now, how do they come up with that fucking math? Well, because, there's 13 colonies. I'm not sure exactly, but I believe it was 2 each, and of course he couldn't vote, so that took one, and then it was somebody else that happened to die or something. So it was a weird, freaky deal that ended up 12-12. That's before the population, which the 17th Amendment gave fucking states the right to vote, which they tried to repeal here, which they have repealed in Utah. I want to understand, people in Utah repealed the 17th Amendment. You can't vote for a United States Senator here. You can't. I'm not kidding. It's handpicked by a small group of oligarchs in the Mormon Church, likely. The Republican primaries are not open. It's handpicked, which the 17th Amendment of the Constitution demands. They don't care about the fucking Constitution. And the Republican wins every election. Democrat has no chance in hell here, not a snowball's chance in hell. So there's no 17. So it's 12-12. So Hamilton says, fuck, he hates Burr. He knows he's an aristocrat. He knows that fucking Jefferson's like for the people, of the people, we the people. He knows that. He's like, I'll break this fucking tie. So he broke the fucking tie. He went over and he had a little talk with one of his friends on the other side. Talked him to switching his vote. Thus, Thomas Jefferson becomes president of the United States. Thus, you don't think fucking Burr's outraged? Look, back in those days, they dueled, write letters back and forth. He had been challenged to a duel 11 different times in his life. By the way, his son was killed in a duel, and his son missed on purpose. So they would dance at him. It was a fucking bizarre fucking old English fucking tradition that these guys, they would threaten each other, and then they would dance out of it. Burr was going to have none of it. He would not dance out of it. And let's understand how pure Hamilton was. Hamilton, you read Greek tragedies as a boy over and over and over. He was a Greek tragedy, American tragedy. So he read them over and over. This guy was of pure spirit and soul. That's why we evolved. I mean, what's the name says, we don't have to put a fucking monument, a fucking Hamilton. We don't have to name anything. We are Hamilton, this whole fucking country. He would fucking be sick. He was all about fiscal responsibility. He fucking believed in no debt for the tariffs were all about. He believed in fucking no usury. I mean, this guy fucking was the shit. So they go out there to the tree. Burr won't back down. He tries to get out. Burr's not going to back down. Hamilton, he just like his son had wrote. There's no doubt in my fucking mind. There's no doubt. It's been proven. His son and he both missed on purpose. He left a note to his wife. He knew he was going to be killed that day because he knew he was going to miss on purpose. Now, why? Because he believed it was a sin to kill another man in his search. Now, you got to remember, this is the guy that led the Battle of Brooklyn in New York, right there, Fort Greene, charging. You don't think he killed people? I don't know. I don't know if he actually put bullets inside fucking British invaders, but he had a philosophy. If they're attacking me for no reason, attacking my shirt, I guess, I don't know, but he had a Christianity about him that his soul, his son wrote about it a lot before he was killed. His son fucking plain out says, I'm going to miss on purpose. I'm going to shoot up in the air and let him kill me so I can go to heaven. Wow. So they duel. Now, Hamilton got a shot off. There's a great thing over there in Jersey. The field's still there. The tree's there. There's a great professor who's been trying to prove that the one branch is where it hit and the branch grew crooked. I love this fucking gig that he's up to. Can you ever prove that? I don't know. I think it can be proved. So, Burr puts one in him. I believe it goes through his liver. This guy is so fucking smart. He knows. No, it didn't hit him in the heart. Fucking Burr missed. But it got him in the liver. Went through his guts. A lot of guys lived with fucking these balls in them, including President Jackson with 2 of them in his fucking, one lodged in his fucking heart. He lived for fucking years and years while he was in the White House. So, by the way, the guy that fucking Jackson, when they dueled, was the best shooter in the world. They said this guy could shoot us. He would practice commonly by hanging an apple with a string, fucking, and shoot the fucking string in two. Jackson knew that, so Jackson says, my only hope was to take the first slug. Just let him shoot me and hope it doesn't fucking kill me. And because the rules were you get one shot then the other one. So he got him right in the chest. This tough old motherfucker didn't fucking die. He just stood right there, and they said that other fucker, eyes got as big as fucking, dollar bills, dollar coins. Because he knew. And Jackson killed him. Wow, what a country we evolved out to be. So, he's dead. When Hamilton died in the rain, The parade in New York City, they look it up. Every man, woman, fucking child in that fucking city, in that state turned out for the parade. Now you think about that. Every man, woman, child. It was the greatest wake morning. The whole city was just horribly heartbroken. This is how loved this guy was. He was an amazing fucking person. This is who McKinley patterned his entire life after. The Queen kills him. We know for a fact the Queen. Barack Obama, a congressional act in 1950. It was Teddy. Teddy picked up on his thing, created the square deal. Teddy fucking took them all on. Teddy changed the world. Set national parks apart, did all kinds of things. And, was that? No, not with this guy. He got Congress to go along. This guy was fucking the shit. It wasn't until 1915 that Congress ratified it, after Teddy was out. But he had changed the world by then, and then Shirtwaist Fire happened in 1911, changed the world. This is a congressional act that set that mountain, named it after an assassinated United States president. This fucking false equivalency act goes to Alaska and declares it, fucking takes his name off. Not only declares at the exact time, and never forget this, not only has he signed over deep beryllium drill rights to British Petroleum, which is now Shell Oil, they merged together illegally against antitrust laws. I'm going to do a video on this today. I already did the video. I'll just get it up today. It's amazing. He takes, at the same time, at the exact same speech, he told Shell Oil that he's going to buy some icebreakers for them. So here now we're spending government with an executive order to buy an ice. Why an icebreaker? For their deep drill oils to get their oil out, because what's left of the ice sheet, which is very little, they need to break it up. And they says, we can't get our fucking oil out without icebreakers. So the United States taxpayer is going to buy Shell Oil and BP ice. These are the same people that poisoned the fucking Gulf up there. Remember Valdez? Oh yeah, the fucking hijacker fucking rat Supreme Court overturned that fucking settlement too. These fuck just like they did in BP. It's unfucking-believable. It's fucking sad is what it is. This is the arrogance of this fucking guy. A congressional act for an assassin. Now, by the way, I'm going to talk about this. My video talks about it. Mount Rushmore. Teddy's on there. There's a lot of talk about McKinley on there. A lot of talk about McKinley on there. It almost happened. I think about this. I mean, it really was. The guy that did Mount Rushmore, Mormon, here, polygamist, married to 2 Danish girl sisters. His mom and dad, Danes. He came in the boat with my great-grandparents. They were in the same boat together from northern Denmark, the same thing. That's the guy who built fucking Rushmore. Lived right here, Paris, Idaho, which is on the Bear Lake fucking border. That's how I know all these guys. I know fucking Stegner. I know fucking Fa McKay, Brody, all that, because my grandparents, they owned the entire fucking lake, the whole thing. They didn't believe in inherited wealth, by the way. My grandfather's Abraham Hunsaker the Fourth. I mean, you don't think there was a fucking hierarchy of this? His great-grandfather's the first, the guy that found the Gold Suitors Mill to build up the Mormon Church. These guys all were connected and all knew each other. My fucking grandmother, Ella Potter Hunsaker, the fucking great writer. That's my grandma. So, there's a train track that runs right here by my house that goes right to San Francisco, across the Great Salt Lake. You know how much time I spent in San Francisco with these guys? Wow. I'll get into it. Secret Society, oh boy. I know all about their secret society. It's in my book. I wrote it all about it in my book. Post-ignorance. I read it on fucking line. Like it's anything secret. It's amazing. People will spin me, twist me. I could have done a lot of things with my life, and I have done a lot of things with my life. And because we live in a fucking society that is totally 100% illogical. So people pull back on me, they push back on me. They do on any kind of new art form. They do on any kind of fucking logical knowledge. But in this time, I compare it to the antebellum South when Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote on Thomas Camden. They were enslaving, and it was very contemporized, and it was done through Christianity. Hitler did the same thing through Christianity. This is how they work. So I equated the same thing. The mindset, this is how abstract. Harriet Beecher Stowe's, like me. Like, it's part of my audience. She's like, what the fuck? She didn't do based on race. She's like, Dad, you hypocrite. This is what the Bible says. You stand in church and read the Bible over and over and over and over. It says, look at you with your wig on and your powder. What the fuck? This is what the book says. You're taking the fucking babies out of mama's arms? You're wrong. Well, that's why I've been waiting for my Harriet Beecher Stowe to show up. You know how much money she had? You're talking one of the richest heirs in the world. In the history of the world. Bonnie, do you know about her? The pirate? How come she didn't get to have Blackbeard? How my body lies over the ocean, huh? How come? She was set free. She was one of their group. The plantation owner's daughter. Yeah, that was her. So Harriet Beecher Stowe writes Uncle Tom Scadam. Well, nobody's going to read that book, right? Well, not if you pay to play. She goes to the publicist. How much to fucking Mark Twain it out into every fucking person in this fucking place's hands? How much? I'll pay double. Well, she had the money. Here. Go. You know how many fucking people that book fucking was in their fucking hands? Fuck everybody in the fucking whole fucking colonies. Everybody in the South and the North. They had a copy of that book. She paid. Change the world? Oh, fuck. Abraham Lincoln, when she came to the White House. So you're the little lady that started the Civil War. Oh, boy. Did she change the fucking world? I hear fucking all the time. You hear these people that say, literature only changes around the fucking edges. There's nothing at the core. It's just like all these things we're taught. And these things, oh, I'm the son of a writer. I'm the son of this, so I'm a writer. I'm the son of an artist, so I'm an artist. I'm this, I'm blah, blah. Fuck them. Fuck every one of these fuckers. Fuck all their heirs. They're fuck whoopee. You're writing the fuck because your fucking dad was the laureate at Stanford. Your dad a fucking you. They got me blackballed at the fucking University of Utah. They got me blackballed fucking at Weber. And I'll tell you why. Those fucking rat motherfuckers. Because I rocked the fucking boat. Because they don't want to fuck. Because they're trying to rewrite history. The Mormons were fucking socialist. Hardcore socialist. They were communist. Communist. They don't want to hear that shit. They want to write their own fucking legacy. And I'm not about to let the motherfuckers. And these fuckers, nobody's caught up with the genre of YouTube. They can't catch up. They don't even know they're too fucking stupid to realize it's the greatest library in human history, but 99% of the fucking shit that's in the library is just that shit. Just like a regular library. You go into a regular library, do you know fucking of the books written that have been published in this country, you know how many have been read by more than 10 people? Probably 99% of them don't. And even if they are contemporaries at the time, that's what they are. Shit lay on the shelf. But then there's fucking ones like Herman Melville. Moby Dick, he wrote that. They hated it. He even had the money to pay to play. Trying to fuck off. He died. He was completely unknown. He was a night watchman on Wall Street. I stood right where he stood. Ackerman was with me. Almost killed me in a car, Ackerman fucking did. That day. Huh. Wow. Turn left. That's a fucking one-way in fucking downtown Brooklyn, Ackerman. Turn left. The computer. Don't turn there. It's a fucking one-way. We'll be killed. Wow. Happens to a lot of people. We rely on man. Fucking machine. I'll take man over machine any fucking day. It is fucking incredible to me that people will pull back on my genre, my art. It's fucking literature. My art is fucking literature. You get to watch a page, maybe sometimes 3 pages a day. It's a fucking 1,750-page book. It's exactly what it is. You can fucking read it. Yeah, it's a long, heavy, deep book. Yeah, of War and fucking Peace. I don't give a fuck. Is it activism? Absolutely, because I know that literature does not change around the edges. And I don't buy into this fucking dogma, bullshit, and these old fucking stereotypes that were forced down our fucking throat to think and believe. Oh, we love the royals. Look at the... No. I base my whole philosophy and everything that I do and my actions based on logic. I don't believe in the bullet, but I surely don't believe in the ballot anymore. Barack Obama proved that to us, right? How can I believe in the fucking ballot now? How can I believe in the fucking bullet? I don't. I don't believe in it. I believe in the same thing that Andy Warhol believed in. And Andy Warhol was nothing but the bastard child of Deschamps. He just piggybacked on Deschamps, just like Jackson piggybacked on Max Ernst and Orozco. They do it the best. Oh yeah, fuck, wow. I mean, they fought to push those guys with great art. You know, give Max Ernst the fucking credit. I don't know why they don't. And, you know, Andy tried to fucking, and, you know, do not kid yourself. Marcel Duchamp got the credit. Marcel Duchamp, by the way, why do you think he was blocked so hardcore, Andy? You know who the gatekeeper in New York City at the museums was? Duchamp. He was the gatekeeper. You know how fucking hard those fuckers fought to get their fucking work in there? Oh, they battled. They were activists, just like me. Hardcore activists, but they were activists to get the fucking art in to change the world. And they did change the fucking world. His art broke down a lot of barriers. You know, and Andy Warhol, that's what great artists do. They mock, but no one would listen. He called this out to a T. It's popism going mad. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Stay in tune in. My book will go on, which my book is nothing more than my PhD. The greatest PhD ever done. Stay in tune.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Twin Gate, 311, whatever you want to call it.